Well, heidi ho, and welcome back to Robert H. Treman State Park in sort of central New York, just on the southern end, southern central portion of the Finger Lakes, just outside of Ithaca.
Yes.
If that helps you. Alana and I have actually been here for a bit. In fact, we left yesterday after work. We hauled our way out here the 7.5 hours, pulled in here pretty late, slapped the tent up on the truck, slept, and then we were up at first light to head for a hike. So let me get you caught up and show you that footage right now. What'd you think of that? Probably looks a little bit familiar, and I hope it does. That means you've seen some of the video before. Up over my head is where Alana and I last visited. We were here in the spring, and we were actually here early enough that the trail we did, which was the Gorge Trail, and actually the whole southern end of the Rim Trail, the Gorge Trail wasn't open, so we weren't able to complete that loop. We actually started from the other end up by the mill and just did the first little section down to Lucifer Falls, kind of the bottom end of Lucifer Falls there. So all of that was in that video over my head. I'll also put it in the description down below. We came here hoping to find fall foliage, which you can probably look behind me. We're a little early.
Yeah.
And it's really tough to predict that because, you know, what we find is you have to really, to get campsites and things, you have to do some planning ahead of time.
And cross your fingers.
And cross your fingers. So we use the Smoky Mountains National Forest, National Park Service. They do some predictive stuff pretty early season where they kind of tell you where fall foliage is going to happen and when. And then we use that to about a month out book our campsite. And then as weather has happened, it just hasn't quite happened here yet. So it's just starting to, you might see a few leaves starting to fall for the early ones that are dropping soon, but we did not get the big bunch of fall color that we were hoping here for this location. But we did get that finally, at least most of the Gorge Loop in. There is still a section right up by, in fact, I'll post a picture over our faces now. This trail is actually the main reason I wanted to do it. You can see this was from that May trip, this image, and you can see the stairways that kind of went all the way up right alongside it. That portion of the trail is still closed. I don't know if it's maintenance or why, but it was closed.
Storm damage.
Yeah. So if you notice, I have two mics sitting on me. I'm going to follow up in a future video of that, but I have yet another new toy. I've picked myself up a new camera, and I don't have enough faith in the audio in it yet or anything, so I've gone to a tried and true here with to vlog kind of in tandem. And I'm pointing the mics, as I always have, my Rode Wireless Go towards Alana, and usually that works pretty well so I'm using it as closely as I can. But anyway, the full review on what I'm doing here and why, I think I'm going to end up doing another video in the future. But for now and for today, we are going to head actually right down into the center of Ithaca.
Yes.
We're going to go right down in there, and there's a
couple of trails.
Couple of waterfalls. We're not sure what we're going to do.
Nope.
It's like right down in town.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to that. Probably around sunset. We figure we might as well hit the urban thing, since we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. But anyway, we'll catch you on that trail or wherever we end up.
Later.
Well, I'll show you the one image I took, and then on the hike, and then we'll see you on the trail.
Okay.
All right, well, we did it again. It's time for another big update because we stopped updating. So it's now the morning after. Last night we ended up going to, what was the name of the falls? Yeah, that's why you're here. We don't remember the name of the falls. It was right downtown Ithaca. I'll put it down below here.
Cascadia.
It's whatever.
Something weird.
I'll put the name down below.
Yeah.
It's literally right downtown, which was really pretty cool. Yeah, it was fun. It's a 1.3 miles round trip.
Yes.
We went up and then hiked back down. So a really short hike. And if you wanted to spend an evening, there was a lot going on down there. It's not really our style, but downtown Ithaca actually had a lot going on.
It's college town, too.
It's college. Yeah, there was a lot of places to eat, a lot of places that you could do things.
Yes.
We ended up coming back here to the state park and had a lovely night's sleep, even though it rained. We did get rained on last night. Now, if you go to, this is our second visit at Robert H. Treman State Park to camp. If you do come here, both times we were on shoulder seasons and we stayed in an area that is it's in the woods.
Yeah, it's the first 1 through 15 or so campsites.
Yeah, and there's also a whole bunch of other campsites that are off kind of in open pasture, open grass area. And I would recommend, if you were in those shoulder seasons, to try to get into those spots, only because you get sun over there, where because we were in the trees and we're far enough north, the sun stayed shallow, both in the spring and now in the fall, just on kind of opposite sides of us. The sun stayed shallow, and it's really it really takes a while to warm up. But anyway, I really enjoyed the park. I have enjoyed both visits here. There's so much to do in the area, whether you at any of these places. As far as what we're doing now today, being Sunday, we're kind of headed home a lazy way. I'm going to keep this going because I'm going to do a little bit of scouting at another park in Pennsylvania where I've been meaning or trying to get to for some astrophotography. So we're going to go ahead and scout that, even though astro is pretty much done here. Or at least Milky Way season's kind of done. It no longer crosses the horizon. The center doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and go to the state park, look at some campsites, and kind of figure out for next year where we want to stay and when. So anyway, join us for that trip. All right. Our stop is at Cherry Springs State Park in Pennsylvania. And this park specifically really has a very nice setup, whether you are into really anything astro, whether you want to use a telescope or do photography. When you come here, a lot of the camping is first come, first serve. I wanted to scout out what that looked like. I will post a link below to kind of the park. You can check out some of the images people have, but I wanted to get a lay of the land. Even though it's day, it's not really the time. I wanted to know what it was going to look like in the future here. And as luck would have it, it's got a little 1 mile hiking trail that kind of goes around in this little area as well. And that's perfect because Alana and I were looking to stretch our legs here this morning after our first few hours of driving back home. So anyway, here we go. Well, there you go. Now, I have to admit, I am testing out my new setup and this little microphone to the extreme. It is super windy right now on this plateau. So we ended up checking out the main observatory area, which is across the road, where you pay $15, then you can camp there, you can set up and you can camp there. There is an official campground at this park as well. I've been watching it most of the summer, and it seems like it's always
Sorry.
and it seems like it's always sold out. So I don't know. There's a couple places where you could just come and park and walk in here. I think that might be fine. The one thing I would say for me, I like to shoot the Milky Way. I like to do some of the star trails and everything, but I like them as a function of a landscape photo,
right,
not just for deep astro or astrophotography itself.
Right.
If your mission was to look at the night sky or capture the night sky absent a landscape,
right,
I think this would be a fantastic location.
Right.
For me to do the Milky Way,
right, as a
with some trees or to put it in a landscape, I'm really struggling here. So other than like if we happen to be in the area and all the other stars aligned, see what I did there? Then maybe it would work, but probably not for much else.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. If this video has felt a little off, well, it has been. My last video was like, I'm struggling. There's a lot going on in our lives.
Yes.
And I have felt a little disconnected in this video as I'm trying to get back on the saddle and get going again. It's super windy. I don't know if you can hear me. It's been a great weekend.
Yes.
We are back in this area in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Letchfield State Park.
No,
Letchworth
Letchworth
State Park, back in New York.
Yes.
I'm hoping the leaves will be more appropriate. Someone canceled and we swooped in and grabbed that campsite. The only availing campsite. So we're really excited for that. Hopefully we will not be on the opposite side of color. And we will see you there. If you've made it this far, you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you at Letchworth State Park next video. Bye-bye.
I wish to be me.